Hi, and thanks for joining me today. It's Friday. We have another fun fold. I'm Patty from pspapercrafts, and I'm so glad that you joined me today. We are making a tri-fold accordion card, and I've also seen it as an accordion tri-fold. And I've seen many variations. This is kind of a unique one. Most of them I've seen, it folds and then there's a belly band around it. It's a whole different look when you do a search on Pinterest. But I like this one. I thought it was pretty. It opens like this. You can put sentiments in here or whatever you want and write a little note here. And you can do this bottom piece showing the white or not showing it. There's different ways you can do it, but it's got this kind of look, and I just thought it was pretty. So for this card, I used some of our designer series paper. This is the Subtles pack. So we have these in every color, I believe every color. And they come in color family. So we have subtles, neutrals, brights, and regals. Those are our color groupings. And you can get a pack for each grouping. And they're really pretty. So this is like Lemon Lolly and Petal Pink, Highland Heather, Pretty in Pink. I'm guessing at some of these. I think this is Soft Sea Foam. And then there's Lost Lagoon. So you'll get... let's see, 2 of each, I guess. 1, 2, and there's, 4 different patterns. So each side has a pattern, and you get 2 of each. Calypso Coral, maybe Gorgeous Grape. This is probably Highland Heather, and this is Fresh Freesia. Maybe Balmy Blue, and I am using Pool Party. So those are the subtle colors, and again, you can get a pack in the regals, whatever, and they're really, the patterns are really pretty. These are my 2 favorite, the floral and then this, and it's the other side of, or no, it's not the other side. Let me just see. Let me just show you. So you get the floral, and then the other side is striped, and then this one, and the other side is these dots. So anyway, I thought that was really pretty, and I think they really knocked it out of the park this year. I don't usually care for all of the patterns they've done. So I use the Spotlight on Nature flower, and then in here is the butterfly. And I also use these dies. These dies are fantastic. Spotlight on Nature. There's actually 2 sheets. I have to get them on my metal, my magnetic sheets so that I can have them displayed. But aren't they great? And they just kind of nest. And I stamped this in black memento, and then I colored it with the Stampin' Blend markers. And then I added one of the in color, this is Pretty in Pink, Shimmer Gems. All right, so that is this card, and we are going to use different paper and different cardstock and different everything. So this paper is really fun. It's called Full of Life, but it was Fun Patterns, and it's got some really cool patterns. But I was looking for something. I wanted to use the Seaside Wishes with those sand dollars, and I was looking for something kind of like oceany, and of course I found it. So these are my pieces. I kind of have them all lined up. So I have Calypso Coral, and then I found this paper. This is the other side. So I have it all. I wanted to make sure it all worked. So I have it all organized. So I will tell you all of the different sizes and measurements, dimensions, all that good stuff on a project sheet below this video. You'll see that. But I pre-cut things. I will do the scoring with you, and there's a lot of pieces. So let's get started with scoring. So this is an 8.5, sorry, a 4 1/4 by 11. So I just cut an 8.5 and 11 in half at 4 1/4. So this is what you would use for a top folding card. And we are going to score this a lot of different places. And you don't have to write these down. I'll call them out, but I'm not going to call out all the dimensions for everything because there's a lot. So this is 2.5. So we're going to score at 2.5, 3 3/4, 6 3/4. So I have to open up my arm on my trimmer. It's something I love about this. It's right there for you. So 6 3/4, and then 8 1/4. So 8 1/4. And then the rest are mats and pieces for die cutting and decoration and stuff. But this is the main part of it. So I'm going to just fold. I just like to fold them down by hand, and then I'm going to burnish them with my bone folder. Whoops, there's some sticky stuff in there. So we'll just burnish this. So this is going to fold down, and then this one is going to fold backwards. So we're getting our accordion, and then this is down, and you'll see in a minute. And then this is backwards. So it's like every other one. So then you have this. So you'll see, if you open it up, you'll see, I guess they're pretty much the same. Let me just see. I thought one was a little bit, 2 3/4. There's one that's a little bit longer. I don't think it matters which way you fold it. It just will give you more space on the bottom if you have the larger one on the bottom. But I think we're good. It doesn't really matter. So see, I did this one. I'm just looking. See, it's a little bit longer. I don't know if you can see that, than this way. So this is how I did this one. And it gave me that little bit of extra space on the bottom. So I think we'll do it that way. I don't know that it matters, but these pieces do matter. And what I did on both cards was I used a white mat to kind of set it off from the outside, but you're also going to mat it on the same color. So if you see close, there's, because you want this around the bottom. Otherwise, I think it would look funny. So you do want that same color as your card base. So these pieces, this is square, and then we have a square white piece to go with it, and a square designer series paper piece to go with it. So that's the other side of this. So we're just going to lay these together with some adhesive, some glue, and then we'll put it on the card base. And if you want, you can make this go in the other direction. Let me just get this down and I'll show you what I mean. And if you did that, you would want to change, if you have directional paper, you would want to change it. So this is opening this way. You could also open it this way and have your sentiment or whatever here. Okay, but if you're doing it this way and you have directional paper, this wouldn't matter. I mean, this you would want to do the other way. But if you had something like this, I want it like this, you would put it this way. But then this one isn't going to work that way for what I'm looking for it. So you'd have to cut your paper in the right way to be directional. So we're going to lay these together. I love this Coastal Cabana. I kind of forget about it. I think I'm drawn to the same colors all the time, so it's nice to use something different. Now this is not going to fit 100%. You're going to have a little rim around it. And you want to put your glue on this piece because you don't want it all the way down here. It'll keep your card. You want it up here. So I think the safest thing is to just put your adhesive up here. Don't go all the way to the edge because you are going to have a little border around it. So we'll just put this together like this. Make sure it's straight, kind of even all the way around. And we'll let that one kind of sit there and dry. Now this one will fit on this paper. Oh, we need a white layer in between. So we'll put it on the white. And I just like the way the white makes it pop. I'm big on white layers, unless you have a really light card base. Especially if there's white in the designer series paper, I think it really pulls it out if you have the white matte. Now, if you didn't want to matte, then when you look at the directions, whatever size the designer series paper is, you would make, so this is 3 3/4 by 3 1/4. You would make this the white layer, and the white layer for this is 4 by 3 1/2. But so if you are looking at the directions and you don't want the white or the 3 layers, use the matte, the cardstock matte, and then replace the measurements for the white, make it the DSP measurements. I hope I didn't just confuse you even more. But it should make sense, right? We just want to go a little bit smaller each layer. So again, we're going to put this down. We're going to leave a little bit of a border around. Okay, and then this is going to look like this. It's pretty already, right? And then this one, we're not going to put down yet because we're going to stamp on that. And I like to stamp before I adhere. So let's put this aside. I'm going to show you this, and you've probably seen it because it's been out for a while, but the Seaside Wishes, it has what we call the hybrid embossing folder. So the embossing folder and the dies work together for some of the cutouts, the die cuts. So this one, it's really pretty. These fit right in here to cut the sand dollars. And it only fits one way, so I have it upside down. Have the stamping up part up. Okay, and then we're going to lay this in right here, and you'll feel it lock in. So I've got the cutting blade facing out, and I have this locked in here. Okay, the Stampin' Up is up here, and we're going to just put a piece of cardstock right on top of it. And it's going to die cut and emboss all in one pass. I love this. We have a few of them, and it's really makes a nice die cut. So I'm going to get my machine out. And get my base plate. I took all the plates off so I can use the 3D specialty plate. So let's put these aside. So you're going to use your base plate. You're going to put this in here and put the 3D, it's a specialty plate, it's number 4, and that is for our 3D embossing folders, and it's also for these hybrid embossing folders. So it won't hurt your folder die cutting. It's made specifically for this. And look at this. We've got 3 beautiful sand dollars. And if you didn't cut them, you'd have a whole layer with these sand dollars and then this emboss. But we're not going to use that. We're going to use some of the sand dollars, not all of them even. So see that? Isn't that pretty? So we're going to use these two. I think this is too big for the card, but I will definitely save that for another project. The other thing I want to do is die cut these. I think these are also some kind of sand dollar. And I think we'll die cut both of them in gold foil. And then we're going to do a couple of these little starfish. So let me get my other plates. So I need my number 2 plate and a cutting plate, and top cutting plate. So I'll put this over here. Okay, so I have some scraps here, and we have gold. And when I use gold, when I die cut gold, I try to cut it down to size because it's very, it picks up the impression of the top plate very easily. So I don't like to waste my gold foil paper. I like to have it cut as close as I can to what I'm die cutting. So it will pick up the impressions on here very easily. And then I have some more Coastal Cabana. And I'm going to do a starfish in that, and we're going to run that through a couple of times. Okay, and then let me get something. So a couple of things I use when I do die cutting that has a lot of little pieces. Let me just cut this out, and we're going to do another one of these. So let's put this aside. But I have my, this is going to cut a lot of little pieces. So I have my take your pick tool with this brush on the end, and it will get those little pieces out very easily. And it's best to do it while it's still in the die if you can. If you can't, it's okay. And we'll just push it through. Oops. There's little holes here. Some of them are the pieces and some of them are to push it through. So here it is. There's still a bunch in there. I think with the foil paper, it just takes a little bit longer. But I have one already cut, so let's use that one instead of getting all those pieces out. And then let's get this other one. And I have another one of these cut too. I was trying to play around with it and see if I like the gold foil. So the magic of television, I'm going to just pull one out that I already have. Oh, this one came out pretty good. So we'll just do a couple of these that didn't go through. I probably should have run it through a second time because it's a little bit thicker. So let's use this one that I already have cut out. Okay, and let's put these back in here. But this works really well. I should have run it through twice. It would have cut it through better. The other thing is, if you have all the little pieces on here, get one of these and pick it up. Didn't happen with this because they all stayed in, but usually with something like that, this I think is my favorite tool. It's really cool. So let's cut another one of these out. And where did I put the starfish? There it is. I'm thinking we need 2 of these, maybe 3. I'm trying to decide. I think we're going to stamp on the inside, so we'll just do 2 of these. And then we're done with our machine here. Put this down here, put this over here, and get this out of the way. Now we can start decorating. Okay, so we have our card, and I thought this was too big. It just seems, it could work, but I thought we would do this size. Come on. And then this big one, and do some sort of grouping. And then I have this. You absolutely made my day. We're going to go across the top with that on a little piece, and I see I have a couple of stragglers here. Come on. Okay, and there's one in here too. All right. So I thought we would do this and then stamp our sentiment. And I'm going to do that in basic beige, which is this color. These are also pretty in very vanilla, but I went with the basic beige today. I don't even think I'm going to banner it. You absolutely made my day. And you could do it in the Coastal Cabana as well. And let's just trim this down a little bit. Thinking, is that getting lost here? I think that's good. We'll put these down, and then I'm going to, I'll do that after. Let's get this one done first. One step at a time. So, kind of figure out how to place these. I'll put this down with dimensionals. One, two, we'll do 4 of them. And I'm trying to get the flat end at the top and bottom, not the pointy end, because it's only a 1/2 inch, so it is a little tight. And I think this is a pretty card. I love these sand dollars. I think they're gorgeous. You absolutely made my day. And then let's put this down with some liquid glue. And I think I'll leave the top empty so that I can slip this behind it. And maybe it would have been better off if I put it down with dimensionals. But this is fine. And then this is kind of a funny one. There's only little areas here and there, and if the glue shows through, it dries clear. I don't know if there's a right way or a wrong way with this one, but we'll put it down like this, and then we'll put this right on top. Isn't that pretty? And now again, you can leave this blank, or you can decorate it. And I decided I would decorate it. And I want to make sure when I close it, do I want to see these things? That's the question. Let's see how it looks. I was going to kind of do the same thing. I think that's okay. If you didn't like that, you could move it up. Just want to make sure this is down. So if you didn't like that, you can move these, you know, up higher. But I think it's okay. It kind of mimics what's right above it. So we're going to do the same exact thing. Put this down here. Put this underneath it a little bit. And then we'll put this down. Oops, that's a lot of glue. And I just thought it was kind of fun. And then for this last one, I thought what I would do is just stamp, and let me get a piece of scrap paper. Just stamp across the bottom. There's this kind of sandy looking stamp, and we'll do that in basic beige. And we'll just stamp it all along the bottom. And let's just see how this is going to look. As I said, I haven't done this, so we really don't know. It's going to look strange or not. And to me, it kind of goes right along, so we're going to keep that. So I thought on the inside I would do a small starfish in Coastal Cabana. So there's the big and the small stamps, and I thought it might be fun to just, should I just do one? I think so. Then there's room to write. So now we can put this down with adhesive right on this other piece. Just like this. And then this piece can go down completely. It's going to be, you're not going to have it hanging off like these pieces are. Okay, so you can put the whole thing down. And this is where, if you didn't want it to show through, you could put it all the way up high, but I'm okay with it showing through. So I'm going to put it down and close it. I think that's okay. All right, so that is the card. Let's put a little bit of bling on it. So I have these adhesive backed metal gems, and there's some gold in here. So I thought maybe, let me get my other, I have two take your pick tools. I think that they work nicely. So I thought I would put one here and up here. I think I'll put one here as well. I know it's on the kind of the inside, but I think it looks nice. So let's get rid of all this stuff and just show the card. So you absolutely made my day. Oh, I wanted to put a sentiment in here. Let's get that going. So I was going to use Love You, and I think I might just make it small and cut it down. So I have a piece, it is 1 inch. So let's make it 1 inch by 1 inch so that I have it the right side, just a little square. So little, let me do it this way. That's a little bent. 1 inch by 1 inch. And we'll do Love You again in the basic beige. Put that right up here. Can you see it? What do you think? And that will go down flat. Just with glue. I don't like to have too much bulk on the inside of a card. Okay, so let's see how that works. Let's put this away. So you absolutely made my day. And then when they open it up, it says Love You, and then you have your note. And this is what it looks like closed. All the different angles. And then we have a thanks, and there's no sentiment or nothing in here. You could add something. The designer series paper is just kind of working on its own. So these are the two cards, and again, they're called Tri-Fold Accordion. This is from my August calendar, and if you want the calendar to follow along, you can subscribe to my email list, and I'll send it to you each month. All right, thanks for joining, and I'll see you next week.